Alrighty, so I guess something that I didn't expect to come up over here actually. It's a little teaser for Italy, for the Italian National Republic over here. It's never really been the skittier teaser, but it turns out that stuff for Italy has already been done over here. So we got this for GD. Very interested in all that. Very interested. Yeah, we're gonna be reading through a whole lot of things over here. There's gonna be quite a lot of reading over here, and I do apologize if I sound quieter. I was rather recording this rather late over here, so I'm kind of busy with over here. So yeah, we're gonna read the proper first here. First, we're gonna go from left to right over here, and there's a lot of interesting things we got going on over here. Very much I'm intrigued whenever Italy gets content over here. I think they're in the full release. Yeah, I think Italy's gonna get content for the full release over here. Don't know about Libya, but anyway, let's read Italy. This is Italy at the start over here in the National Vitalism, the International Executive Council. Please culture notes. I'm trying to remember what that was. Over here. Oh yeah, before I do that, I need to double check something here real quick. Yeah, a little quote over here. Might post over here, but I might as well read it. Get the guy over here. Anyway. In the city of Carnano, this group of enlightened men, fanatics, mystic forwarders managed to conjure up the atmosphere of passion for the future and the poetic rebellion against the old faith and ancient formulas that had given the name of humanism. Marakali, she name. So yeah, very much interested. So let's get right down on to it. Italy is ruled by a document known as the Charter of Carnano, drafted by Ecclesia de Ambries. I don't remember who he is. I think so. I'm not going to say it over. I misremember shit. Because that tends to happen. Anyway. It is a unique piece. That's the wrong part. Unique piece of political thinking combining in itself semi-archaic and dictatorial elements, guaranteed freedoms and plenty in time of peace, and called for a total mobilization should danger arise. Part of the charter was the National Council, comprised of 7 ministers, to act as one for the benefit of the whole nation, and to execute the laws of the sand syndicates. Yet when the revolution was cornered, a foreign minister threatened to end the young state. The council invoked Article 43 of the charter, which called for dissolving the council and the legislature, and that all power to be rested in the hands of a dictator known as the Commandante. Daniel served with the first Commandante and served for his life, 17 years until his death in 36. Yeah, because I think in real life he died like 2 years, then Red Flood. Yeah, he died in 30. It was 38 or 39. Shit. I need to go double check that. Anyway, man expected the Commandant killer to do the same. He hold absolute power like Kaiser of old Rome. But he didn't. After the Flood, Killer stepped down, allowing the council to reform, resume his guard over the Italian people. After the charge, the council had 7 warriors to lead Italy. Yeah, so basically Killer was like, you know what, no, we're gonna follow the whole Republic thing. We're not gonna be Republican name, we're gonna actually be Republic. And this would lead to a lot of things happening. Whenever we get to there. Charter. The current occupants are Mario Colley, Minister of Foreign Affairs, a futurist, and the skilled diplomat and one of the original Filmians, Guido Killer, Minister of Finance, a job he's not really suited for, but he can keep up and ensure that he will always have a count to see whether he wants it or not, and trust me, he does not want to. 2 minutes, he even bought up a popular man because of him, yeah. Imagine being so goddamn popular that that would be like if fucking in real life if FDR, if people love FDR so much though that they abolish term limits for. So that something came up real quick. Anyway, whatever about that. Term limits, so yeah. The last of the faces of these days was Ghost Endeavors. Here can you see more? Yes, they're still around. The old Sama himself, Sir as Minister of Justice. You got that Bushido code and everything. Anyways. New faces include Umberto Eco, Minister of Public Instruction or Education. Pino Rauti, yes, that Pino Rauti. Minister of Defense, Julius Evola, Minister of Public Economy, Propaganda. We'll get to him in a bit. And lastly, Paolo Sorelli, Minister of Labor. The age of violence and destruction have passed, and there comes a new era of peace and prosperity. Italy has seen her last revolution as completed. The flame has cooled down and the people have returned to normalcy. So laid their arms down and grip relax. And now, while the new day bring only a continuation of the past one, nation can be assured, but should the threat rise once more, we'll be ready to answer who could oppose us. Indeed, like the flag over here. Very nice flag. But yeah, very interesting people we got going on over here. As you can see, lots of interesting things we got going on over here. And I said we're going from left to right over here because this is a fascinating little thing over here. But we still got the Aditya Order of Libya. I remember this used to be part of this used to be under control of France over here under Joseph Darnell, but it has been changed over here. Probably because, you know, Italy and Libya and all that stuff. It's a lot more shit for Italy to have this than France. Yeah, Egypt anyway. Under Ettore Muti, who you may have recognized from TNO. It is one of the part of the Qualba in TNO and the Penelope Web update. Folks in Italy, but we have him in Libya. Because you know, of course we is. Ettore Muti has been involved with the Italian army in the filming endeavor for most of his life. He joined the RDT during the Great War at the age of 15, where he was known for his bravery and daring, winning many medals. He was among the original Fiumians, helping to seize the city during Sicilian with D'Annunzio, Keller, Fiumar, and others. He remained a Fiume in almost 20 years, and during that first time, he attracted to the futurist. In them, he found the daring, violence, heroism, spectacle, and wanton disregard which made up the core of his own being. He helped lead the Italian forces during the reunification to come war against the Germans and British again, but he named for himself an act of martial prowess. After the war, and Keller ushered in the return of democracy, futurist democracy. Muti leveraged his role as hero to the revolution to secure himself a seat in the National Council, serving in terms of both Ministry of Justice and military defense at various times. That was like in 1948, after years of hard oppression, the Arab uprising in Kurd Libya, the bloody putting down previous imperial governor Giovanni Messi, the American ass, was forced to resign in disgrace. Muti, who at the time no role in the government besides acting as an advisor to the Italian military, was selected for the next governor of Libya. This received great honors and made him the most important man in all of Italy's African holdings. Because I think Italian East Africa is a thing. Yeah, but I can't remember the extent of Italian East Africa. Fuck. Anyway. British rule over Libya has been complicated. He likes to manage as a magnanimous master, and it is true that Libya has seen some Libyan reforms under him, but ultimately, little has changed. Forced labor and colonization persists unabated, despite Modi's claim that he ruled with a light touch. Modi is not a man who is a stranger to controversy, a fan of fast vehicles, alcohol, famine, and with a total disregard of disciplined authority. Modi's list of scandals are as long as his arm, the most noteworthy of which is the rise of half-Arab child Zara Muti. So had a great deal of scandal on both sides. Diaz's responded by assassinating Muti's lover. But in Italy was not much warmer. Muti's wife left him. To declare Muti is devoted to the child and to declare the Italian government. Muti was now removed from his post. Yeah, she cares for the boy. Well, one girl. I know who it is. But fucking coin all that shit. Anyways, and thus he made it today as King of the Sands. Reputation slightly tarnished, but his resolve and penchant remain untouched. Indeed. Don't Muti's my duce. Sorry, Talabubble. That's fine. This is why I'm gonna just see shit. Talabubble is my duce. Even though he's the only power in Libya over here. And there's a bunch of other people that I'm more interested in here in JD. I wish I'd get to them over here. But yeah, that's pretty much the map of Italy. And of Arabia. And all that fucking whatever the hell we got going on over here. Stuff. Actually, hold on one quick moment. Okay, I'm back. We're back. I'll do get some water. Anyway, we start off here from the left to the right, which makes sense over here because the first guy over here is from the left and the last guy over here is from the right. And it very much so is an interesting lineup. Definitely a lot of replayability for Italy. Interesting lineups. All sorts of things over here. Very much interested. We'll start with Umberto Eco. Eco, whatever the hell. For the United Commons of Italy, with the interesting flag over here. Got the whole syndicalist thing over here. That's a syndicalist symbol, by the way. Only in Italy, with its core-like devotion to youth and adventure, could a child be made a leader of the people. Umberto Eco was a mere 20 years old when he was elected to the position of Minister of Public Instruction. The party executive council in 1952, yes, because it was all about that youth and speed and all that lovely stuff over here. This is the only time in which such a thing can actually make sense. His rise to power in New York carried on year by his cruise by intellect to higher and higher positions. Born in 32, when he counted, Eco's childhood was consumed largely by a war of Italian unification and the Red Flood from both, into both of which his father was drafted. Eco represents the first generation of Italy to come to their age after those conflicts. The first generation not really remember a war before futurism. In 1950, at the tender age of 18, he not long after the administration of the University of Turin, he won a vice chairman position, the largest student co-op in the nation. He briefed state direction some campaign for greater student rights and successfully petitioned the central government for greater education spending, because of the technology and all that stuff. We gotta be that not technocrat, but definitely we gotta be up on that power with technocracy and all that shit. Anyway, he had barely warmed his chairmancy before he was propelled to even greater state. In 1951, he was elected the chairman of the Provisori, Italy's lower chamber to the legislature, made up of delegates from the corporations. As a Provisori, representative of the Sixth Corporation, which represents the intellectual section of the people, studious youth and its leaders, teachers in the public school and students in college and polytechnics. So basically, like the fucking educated class, intelligentsia, whatever. He quickly made a name for himself, outshine all of his co-delegates with his fiery wit, which put him to advocate for greater autonomy for the corporation as well as the last vestige Catholic education to be removed from Italy. Yeah. That reactionary shouldn't get that crap out of here. Anyway. With the Minister of Education Giovanni Gentili, yes, not Giovanni Gentili, announced his retirement in late 51, it was immediately apparent that he would succeed him. Just a 20-year-old was elected to the executive position and made one of the 7 most powerful men in Italy. God damn. That's He is the youngest man to ever do so. Politically equal with the furthest left of the executive council, supporting the syndicalist, libertarian, and anarchist position. Anarchist portion of the human endeavor, while rejecting the hero worship, nationalism, contempt for weakness, and the militarism. The elevation for the position of common that they cause controversy. Yeah, because all those affirmation things are ingrained at this point. The man with Italy find the path of being led by a socialist child is a pleasing notion. Time will tell whether Eco can navigate these waters with the success he found in every other position he has, occupied, or if he will be set away by the tide. Interesting. It's going to be fascinating to stuff here. Now we got the big 5. The umvirate, or whatever the hell, I don't know. I don't know what the 5 is, not the quadumvirate, but we have got, like, the council. He's going to call it the Council of the Future as a word. Anyway, we're going to start with Pino Rauti with the Confederation of Italian Archaeologies. Yes, this is a thing. Yeah, this is a thing, and also the flags got cut off over here. Yeah, you can see like the little Roman thing over here in the film thing. Yes, the Confederation of Italian Archaeologies. That's a name. Anyway, Pino Rauti has been called the Italian answer to Le Corbusier. It is a comparison that Rauti is not fond of. In fact, it might be true that both of them respect the people's greatest architects, both of them were chief faithful rebuilding their nation's capital after the war the last 15 years. Where you see the politics, but Rauti found Corbusier work to be sterile, materialistic, sprawling, industrial, while Rauti is a compact, water-spirited ecology. So he was born in 1919 Turin, where he studied architecture and industry, and quickly made a name for himself in it. In the 1930s, he moved to Rome before he was drafted to fight in both the War of Unification and the Red Flood, but he saw combat in neither. Studying as an engineer, after the war, he joined the College of Andilis, a government body meant to beautify cities for the public good, like a public works program in a sense, in Rome. He rose to the ranks and eventually became a 10 in 1946. The Romans suffered greatly. The siege of the city during the Italian unification, the papal invasion, the shelling received both the British Navy and the German Air Force during the Red Flood. So all city ruins. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, fuck it. Yeah. Just focus on Germany and shit like it. Britain doesn't really bother. Because they get their ass whooped in Egypt every time I do it. Afterwards, the war always announced that the government would seek to rebuild. Many applied, but the contract with the war to Solaria. Solaria's rebuilding of Rome began in 47, and we completed in early 49, roughly coinciding with Le Corbusier's own post war constructed Le Soleil, known as Plan Voisin. Yeah, they roughly are similar, be it rather different. Corbusier and Solaria. Two men might have been given the same task, but their approaches could not have been more distinct. Solaris is contemptuous of modern architecture. Western man thinks that with his rationalism and ego enlightenment, with the Renaissance science, technology, democracy, Marxism, accelerationism that he left behind the medieval dark ages, and superstition, yet simply no thought had been given to the actual places where he lived and how it alters human spiritual evolution. The modern places people physically exist do as much to affect their spirit as anything else, and yet seem cold, distant, alienating, sprawled, continue to dominate man's living space. Yes, very much on the eco, more spiritual design. As well, very fascinating thing over here. This gives deliver the idea that we exhume archaeology, the perfect blend of architecture and ecology, emphasizing verticality instead of sprawl and spirit over matter. Perfectly self-sufficient. He dreads for a woman to garner the light of which has been unseen since Babylon, like fucking thousands of years ago. His research ever catapulted him to the national fame and onto the Executive Council. Not even me comandante. It's doubtless he wishes to reshape all of Italy. Might be a bit more, also might be a bit for a bellow, instead of more economics. Yeah, basically like, you know, fucking archaeology of the spirit, as it were, which is curious and awesome. If definitely am interested in all this. Definitely is an interesting path over here, though. Very much interested to see how that's gonna play out whenever they get content over here. I think we're doing the full release over here. They just got the content whenever the beta drops. I don't know. I'm not sure if you got Mario Kart, but the Italian combine over here, you can guess where this is when this man leaves. But in world history, all eyes are concentrated on main characters. Heroes, president, general, their subordinates rarely get even a footnote in history compared to them sometimes. Mario until the moment of his infancy, was such a man, always somewhere in the background. Born on December 30th, 1888, Conde started his role in Florence as a novelist, poet, and journalist, taking interest in the futurist movement and soon to become one of its most hardcore members. Being with the man of relationship in his future, Filippo Tomasito Manetti. When the Great War hit, Galli Arditi. In the trenches, he won summer medals and grew closer with Gabriele D'Annunzio. And when the war finally came to an end, he was in his first role with D'Annunzio, Keller and Chiamoy, to storm the city of Fiume. During this time, Galli drove on further to the left. Galli saw futurism was something different like that of Marinetti. Galli saw its violence and egoism, but also envisioned a movement that could spearhead a world revolution. Yes, we're gonna take the whole futurism document. We're gonna socialize the hell of it. To this end, he would join Neon Continente's League of Fiume, an edition with a radical platform with decolonization and anti-imperialism. That might be over here. Depending on who comes up on here, multi-member not stay over here, so I am interested to see how that's going to play out over here. Very interested to see how that's going to be over here, especially with this. So basically you can have World Revolution, futurist, social futurist Italy. As time went on, Galli felt a fear with D'Annunzio, who was annoyed by his inconscious internationalism, and the two were assigned to be ambassadors of Marxist Germany and Hungary respectively. Even from afar, though, Galli shaped Fiume's destiny. He sees his name at sign as the representative of Fiume on the treaty that created the Solar League. Galli was recalled to Fiume in the late 30s, where he would serve as a member of Fiume's foreign minister. He was also battle commander during the Italian unification and the Red Flood. After the wars, when Killer stepped down as Commandante and ruled by council was established, Galli was elected as Minister of Foreign Affairs, a position he held for the next 8 years. As Italy once again entered a crisis, she is elected Galli to lead her to the future, and lead her to the future he will. There is a betrayed minister he knows how the nation rested on her laws, how it was once more diving to the conservative and the old, and how she maintained the exploiting the people downside like the reactionaries before them, and he intends to end it all, alongside the past that holds dear Italy back from revealing true colors. Yes. Based futurism. What's a futurism before? So if you're gonna be truly futurist, we gotta get rid of everything that's old. Then we're interested in what Galli thing. And now we got a Killer over here. If we come back over here, this flag is the same flag as this over here, so that's why it doesn't appear there. The Italian National Republic under National Vitalism. Yeah, that's what the futurism. That's like constructivism, yeah. Just saying that in case I forgot. See that? Now on to Killer. What needs to be said again of Killer, the scion of aristocracy, the ice of hearts. They announced his confidant, original Fumian. He stepped onto the Wall Street in 36 form and they announced his death and the crisis was ensued. Keller formed an alliance with Marisu, which saw Keller secure not votes to be elected Commandante, nearly being Harukichi Shimoi. Keller remained the leader of Fiume and later Italy during the War of Recreation and the Red Flood. When the Wars of Crisis ended in 44, Keller did something no one expected him to do. He stepped down and allowed Fiume democracy to return. Yeah, futurist democracy, if you will. So for that. This single act made Keller hero to every one of his countrymen, the father of modern Italy and the Italian Washington. And then, what was it? Yeah, they would. I think something similar happened to George Washington. Trying to remember if I remember that correctly or not. But anyway, from Keller's point of view, having unified Italy seemingly from the Germans and transformed to a utopia he always imagined, there was no need for him to remain. That's what done. It was time to go home and rest contented. So he would. The subsequent years saw Keller to exit politics unsuccessfully. He disbanded the yoga group, according to the Italian Constitution, previous service disqualified him from serving any further, but by mass public demand, terminals were repealed, not to be elected to the reconstituted dictator Count much to his chagrin. Yes. Imagine you being so popular that the people willingly end term limits. Goddamn. It was for a popular man to stay enforced by a sense of duty to accept that he has served the area position he of at some point or another. Goddamn, so yes sir, that's fucking. So it's foreign affairs, finance, justice, education, defense, propaganda, economy. Goddamn, this man is busy. I feel bad for him. 1946, an intoxicated Keller, oh yeah, this. Toxic Keller crashed into his automobile. Spark ignited and severed gas line, and he was burning over much of his body. I think this is in reference to how Keller actually died in our timeline when he got into a massive car accident, except here in this time he survived. But as you can tell over here, he's wearing a mask over his face because of it's not exactly doing too well. The accident cost Keller much of his face and his eye, and instead of granting his fracture, he took wearing the gold-plated mask to cover his disfigurement. They did that after all he'd been through wars and coups and pirate raids, that the thing that should wound him so badly was an accident was an irony too great for him to bear. When he finally woke from his coma, he laughed all night long. I mean, bad for whatever in that scenario. Keller decided to step away from politics with the accident only hastened. Outside of his council business, he lives a hermit-like existence. He even died in the orange robe of Buddhist monk. What the fuck? Melatonin broke down following his 47 cancer diagnosis. Keller followed a similar battle, finally overcoming his lifelong addiction to narcotics. The oil remains and serves with Italy, though oil was his arrest, and now he's been called to lead it again. God, man does not. Man has been through shit over here. It's actually kind of amazing how he managed to fucking live over here. Let's talk about another man who's been through shit over here. Here, you see more of national violence, the Italian national anarchism. Sorry, the Italian state over here. Not the greater town state over here, just the town state over here, not the town shogunate. So that's no, it's not gonna be a thing over here. That would be funny though if it was like a reference. Maybe it could be like a reference to an event or some shit. It'd be interesting. Anyway, history knows many great examples of people who were always on the edge and always were close to success before all their plans were crashing down. Harukichi Shimoi is one of such men. Born in 1883 in the prefecture of Fukuoka. Sorry. It was where in Japan where he first got his first education and his first love, without being studying with Shimoi. Later on in 1915, he moved to Italy in order to study Dante and see Naples, and that's when the fascination of Italy began. The Talibu, as it were. Studying more and more of Italian culture, going as far back to ancient Rome as forward to the recent futurist movement. However, he stayed true to his samurai roots and listened to the entire art. Sometime in 1917, he personally participated in the Pavia offensive in the Toronto operation. That's when he became contact with Gabriele D'Annunzio. Shimoi served in the Aliti, the most elite troops of Italy, and he allowed him to personally participate in the Fiume endeavor. The army becoming a bridge between the city and the rest of the acting ambassador to Balboa's nationalist movement. Oh yeah, I think it was Netti. Francisco Severo Netti that came into power in regular Italy. Not Balbo. I think his thing failed. Anyway, But it's not surprising, it wasn't much for Dino. So as soon as he started to succumb to illness and years, so Shima was quick to move. He wanted Italy. He wanted to be in his grip, mixing the mighty Italian arts with the unbreakable Japanese spirit. He came close to victory, but then remembered to approach Killer with the alliance and married his faction through their voice behind the killer. Shima was broken and wanted to return back home before learning that he didn't have one in the war. His country had been fallen to the specter of socialism. Well, socialism in course of here because it's kind of like, you know, not exactly, but there are some genuine social there, but there definitely is like a chauvinism in there. As Killer Boy marched through Rome, Shima grew more resentful, but he still had hope. When the wrath was over, he approached Killer with a request to give him the position of Comandante, since Killer didn't want to remain there anyway. But Killer chose Italy over those friendly and allowed to return to female democracy, and Shima couldn't forget that. Goddamn, this man really hates, really fucking hates Killer. I guess it makes sense like he's been screwed like 2 times at this point. However, to say that Killer disregarded his friend would be a mistake, since the National Council Shima would hold the position of being the Minister of Justice with the merciless in the new seat, but Shima is an art. It was an insult, sorry. It was like he was Killer's pet. Next 7 years of food, nothing but growing hatred, which he managed to hide very well. Now that he wanted to approach the crisis, he would like exhibition of power, he would not be riled again. Yeah. Shima is not exactly. Definitely is, and I wonder how different it'd be considering that he's been not only got screwed out of being leader twice, but he's basically got sidelined. So definitely is definitely something over here. Definitely something. Yes, so that's the big 4 as a war over here, but then we get into the very interesting shit over here. The new land of led by Julius motherfucking goddamn Evola. Sorry, Evola. On the imperialism ideology with the interesting flag. I like the flag actually. I like that flag over there, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Sorry. So yeah, is this the Julius that we know of in our timeline? Well, let's read and see over here because Evola is quite interesting. You know, Julius Evola was a man who had always been searching for something he couldn't quite put into words. He really found it during the Great War, where danger cut through the malaise and made life feel real again. Then when the war ended, he was able to find it again among the Italian dadaist. The instant the world was devastating, they wanted to shock it with the works of ugly pointlessness in the mirror. We told ugly points of the modern world, but Italian dadaist fizzled out with a whimper, and there was Evola searching again. There came a bill until he finally answered in February 1922. The answer with the Battalion Model 1889 revolver. If you don't know what that means, he basically wanted to commit suicide. because he couldn't find any purpose in life at that point. His life was saved a bit by a trial that caught his eye. He copied Kelly's yoga newsletter, which soon had thrown away. Through radicalism and occultism spoke to him. He had to go see it a few minutes, but he hadn't given it much thought. But the moment he found what he was looking for, he would never lose it again. This is in reference to the same thing happened over here in our time, except Evola found like some Buddhist texts. I think though, when he stumbled upon like some Buddhist books or some shit, and that basically led him to be like, you know, very much a reactionary. And this time, like, he went to the yoga thing and he became a futurist, but a different breed of futurist, as we'll see. He was an F-15 and became one of the most active members of Kyoto's yoga society. He was there he met the sexual magician and sorceress Maria de Naglowska. The two were married in 1925. When the French established the avant-garde regime in 1934, the pair traveled to France as unofficial ambassadors to the yoga group. There they came in contact with René Guillon, yes, established under the call of the newspaper La Flèche. They involved in some of the new political factions in the nation, but found each one lacking. Phil particularly liked the Ascadron coloneliste, the SFL, in Le Patron, Circle told himself. But he felt that they all of the avant-garde down to be bought in politics to be what it was meant to be, a new form for the primordial, here to rouse us from the data of modernity. Evola wasn't a mere accelerationism, but rather super accelerationism. That is in reference to I think it was a war crime tribunal in post World War II, where Evola got he got out of because I find this funny every time. He got out of fucking being charged for saying that he wasn't a fascist, but he was actually a super fascist. And it fucking worked, and he got let go. I'm sorry, but the fact that he managed to get away with saying that, it's just funny to me. Oh man, that would never not be funny. How the fuck does that even happen? But yeah, that's in reference to that whole thing over there, so yeah. Lots of references. Julius and Maria returned to Italy following the reunification, returned to the Euro group until Killer disbanded in 1944, following stepping away from Italian politics. In that year, Evola founded Culto della Verita Perine as a successor to the organization, which emerged Evola's mystic, political, and Dada influence. It quickly blew in popularity, becoming the third largest religion in Italy behind Catholicism and Libya's Sunni Islam. God damn. And that started in 1944, so that it's somehow gone beyond Catholicism and Sunni Islam. How the fuck? Oh, then the future really is now. Anyway. Richard Evola elected to the Executive Council in 1948. 4 years after that, now that he had been made commandant, he would capture a new age of mystical avant-garde and finally lead the material mediocrity of the world. So yeah, this is based more primarily on Evola's earlier life, where he was like in the avant-garde and all that. And I think he was a member of Marinetti's faction though, but he left because Marinetti was too nationalist for him. Yeah, he's more just that mystical avant-garde. And I think he's still got that pan-European ideals and all that, but he's very much on the futurist side of here. He's not really a reactionary over here. He's very much it's very much his own breed of intriguing over here. And I'm very much so interested to see how this Julius will play out over here. If there's gonna be any references to his real life counterpart. But it very much got me intrigued. Sorry if you hear the mic stuff out here. I've been trying to find a better spot over here. Also, the land of New definitely got me something. Got me acting over here. So I should make it. Yeah, I think I'll make it like a little poll for this one. I'm gonna do the five futurists in here, and then the left and the right as well as the thing over here. It would be nice to do the poll over here, and I very much, as before, curious about Julia. Well, especially with Nagy on over here, because he's not, as before, you're very so not like a reactionary that he was in our timeline. But he's very much, though, similarly really different, and I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out. Also, the portrait over here, that's like, I usually see like the portrait of the side, where he has the fucking monocle and stuff. And now we're getting the Pino Rauti for the Italian Empire, the SPQR. Yes, and I say it over here because maybe he's gonna be in the TNO. He's like an esoteric nat suck. Because of course. Anyway, I'm not gonna be getting that. We're gonna be getting to JD stuff. The Italian Empire and the social imperialism. Yeah, this if you've seen my Kaiserism ideology video, this got you into social imperialism instead of imperial paleogenicism, because social imperialism fit the name thing a lot better than the other one. Anyway, Pino Rauti was born in the very south of Italy in the commune of Cardinale in the year 1926. When he was just a child, he saw the banners of France and fuel a wave over Rome. This episode, Italy's history left a mark on him at the age, and he started to wonder why did the kingdom, which he managed to overcome the Austrians and Germans, fall so quickly? Maybe because they're crap. That was a matter of another time. He was conscripted to the army and fought against the British in Egypt. Though he only saw combat for the last few months before the Red Flame in 1944, he returned home as a lieutenant with a chest full of medals. Sounds like nepotism. Anyway, when he returned home, he began researching philosophy, history, and politics, finding inspiration in the failed movement of fascism, Anthony Benito Mussolini, and Italo Balbo. So yes, the last fascists of the war, as well as the far-right elements of fueling conservative thinkers like Spengler. He came to a conclusion. Of course, fucking Christ. First, Italy needs war. Ever since the time of Rome, the land people thrive when the swords were polished and sharp. The kingdom must fall because it refused to prefer the decaying pacifism. Secondly, Italy, or more recently Italian, or more correctly Italians, we need to stay together like the ancient fascio. One would break, but together they are invincible, I guess. So we got like a new, so we got like fucking social fascism, I guess. Well, let's see. Rauti found solution to this in socialism, not the universal proletarian more than Marxism, but a socialism specific to Italians and Europeans. So, I should say, national socialism or Italian-centric socialism. Fucking weird shit. Anyway, we've dived into the peculiarities and exclusiveness of the minds and bodies of these kind of people and the continent they inhabit. One that became the unity of the nation was the material well-being of the individual. After the war, Rauti oversaw the Consiglio de Difesa Nazionale, the largest peacetime militia, uniting remnants of the Babel's black shirts, the Arditi, and the Disperata, before later became elected to the Executive Council of the Ministry of Defense. Now Italy, he's a new hero, and Rauti was picked for the task to serve in his saving his dear country. Social revolution born a few years will be completed. Italy will be baptized by fire. In the golden age of the empire from the Gibraltar to the year freeze, fulfilling the destiny of united Europe. Brought together by the beat of drums and the march of regiments, taking on the banner of Rome, and proudly achieving the goal of Italians to become masters of Europe, the cradle of the center of Western civilization. So yeah, which is going to basically form like a fucking Rome, like a social imperialist Roman Empire, and that's another path I'm interested in over here. Like, definitely interested in a lot of these paths over here. I'm most interested in like the Acelo guys and him over here. I guess a little bit of you over here as well. I'm most interested in everyone over here though. No, definitely got like the whole thing. All of them probably gonna be pretty interesting to play over here, but I got my ones I'm more interested in playing over here. Definitely curious about Evola and Rauti, along with Carly over there. Carly and Carly stuff over here on the side. Very much interested to see how they're gonna be interacting over here, because since seeing that Rauti's being with the whole Western civilization thing, and Yaki in America does as well, though I'm wondering how diplomatic is gonna play out over there. Very keen on all this stuff, and I'm very interested to see how this will turn out. I'm very excited for what is to come in JD over here. So yeah, lots of over here, lots of stuff over here. My thoughts kind of crap, but I've been talking for a lot. But what you guys think over here? I'm definitely gonna be doing a poll whenever this comes out over here. Very excited for all this stuff over here, and I'm interested to see how things are gonna be with the Skitty that can come out here, and I'm very much I'm really excited for this mod. I'm just really interested in this mod. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in whatever I do next. And I'll crush my throat. So till then, I shall see you later. Bye.